Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today, I am back to fighting the sun back there. Today, we are talking about police brutality with That's Not Lawful. Cop fires stun gun at black Doordash driver, who began recording his traffic stop saying he was feeling unsafe. Yes, and another dark truth to the gig economy. It's not a political channel. It's not a this side matters, that side matters channel. I am simply trying not to get canceled. So what I'm going to say is that this guy happens to be black. This guy got stunned by a cop, and whether his race had anything to do with it or not is nothing I know about or am on anybody's side with until I get the details of the situation. The things you gotta do to protect your ass. It seems like this guy got stunned for seemingly just doing his job. It wouldn't surprise me if a cop decided to take the law into his own hands. So let's see what's actually going on. Let's see what each side has to say about this and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Earlier this month, a 28-year-old Delane Gordon was completing deliveries as a Doordash driver in Collegedale, Tennessee, about 20 minutes outside of Chattanooga. Pulled over for a traffic stop. The situation escalated when Gordon, a black man, asked to speak to a supervisor, and a white police officer pulled out a stun gun. What supervisor are you going to ask for? I'm assuming what's happening here, he was driving down the road. Whether he was speeding or not is irrelevant because cops like to just pull over people for less than no reason. But my question is, for what reason do you even need the stun gun? You would think that if the stun gun is getting involved, like that means the physical safety of the cop is in question. Who am I kidding? We're in this world now. I'm just wondering what actually happened. I ain't watched the video. I'm gonna leave a link to the Twitter in question. It's actually not on TikTok, it's on Twitter. So if you wanna check it out, you can. Footage of the incident was released by Gordon's attorney and has gone viral on Reddit with over 12,000 upvotes. Things you gotta do for content, huh? Any exchange of that nature shouldn't be met with immediate escalation, Gordon's attorney told ABC News. It didn't. If it was immediate, there was no reason to pull out the stun gun. In the 50-second video, Gordon is seen holding out his driver's license. So he's handing his license over. He's actually showing him that he is cooperating on all grounds, and the cop is choosing to pull out a stun gun. It doesn't make sense. As the officer demands he gets out of the car, Gordon asks what's the reason. He says, "I don't feel comfortable," and the officer continues to demand he exit the vehicle immediately. This seems like the officer is mugging the black guy more than it's actually him doing his job. Like, come on, guys, get it together. The officer finally reaches into the car and appears to attempt to overpower Gordon, forcing him out of the vehicle with both hands. We stopped using the stun gun, and now you're just attacking the guy. Why are you being like this? Gordon says out loud. The officer continues to pull on Gordon, grabbing at his shirt and neck. "Please don't hurt me," Gordon says during the altercation. He begins to ask whether the actions are lawful. No, that there's nothing lawful about that. Let's just get that on the table. A cop literally attacked a poor guy for trying to just do his job as a Doordash driver. Like, what the heck is that? After he is unsuccessful, the officer steps back and discharges the stun gun, who can be heard experiencing the shocks. That is 100% unlawful. You just stunned a guy just because he was trying to ask you a question. That is literally the opposite of lawful activity. And you know what the worst part is? I know that there's going to be the argument of the one bad apple, but one bad apple ruins the bunch. And I really do believe that 80% of cops are like this, and just a few of them actually get caught. That's not lawful, Gordon says as the video ends. On Friday, the Hamilton Court District Attorney opened an investigation into the incident, but Collegedale police told the local ABC News affiliate there are no current plans to release the officer's body cam footage of the entire incident. They're really just trying to cover up the crime. That's what cops do. Instead of them actually taking accountability for their actions, they'll arrest and erase evidence, just so that way they will not be able to get persecuted for the crimes they commit. The Daily Dot reached out to DoorDash and Uber for comment on how to protect drivers when they get in harm's way. If DoorDash comes at us with Safe Dash for police brutality, that's wrong. They are 100% wrong. Because you know that's what DoorDash's auto reply is. But here's the other side of that. It's not DoorDash's responsibility. It's not Uber Eats' responsibility either. Because we're independent contractors, we should be looking for ways to defend ourselves. Now, DoorDash and Uber should not limit us with their contracts, but in this case, he was being attacked by a cop. I would love to hear what they got to say. I just don't think that they're gonna say anything. But here's the other side of that. If they do say something, it might also be that the DoorDash driver's behavior was wrong. And I'm like, are you kidding? You're gonna say that this guy was attacked and he was wrong for being attacked? What kind of messed up nonsense is that? I genuinely do believe DoorDash will pull that crap. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I think a lot of you might have heard what I said and thought I am on one side, the Black Lives Matter side. Keep in mind, I'm also raised in a family of cops. I do believe that there are good cops out there. I just think they're so few and far between at this point. I just don't know how to say this otherwise. I'm just going to say it the only way I know how to say it. In the same respect that there's bad cops and good cops, there's also good black men and bad black men. Good black women, bad black women. Good white women and bad white women. I happen to get a lot of bad white women. My dating life is terrible. Don't ask. A lot of people would be like, oh, this cop should be taken care, should be thrown off the force and put in jail and blah, blah, blah. The problem with that is not changing the root problem. Like, the root problem is that cops are getting away with stuff and doing the wrong thing and winning. And it's a crime. They are criminals. And again, this is not every single cop, but this is a large majority of them. There are three types of cops out there. I want to be clear. It's not good or bad. There are three types. Good cop, which is that person is dedicated to defending the law, enforcing it, and making sure people are genuinely safe. That's number one. Number two, there's bad cops. This scumbag right here, that's a bad cop. That is the literal epitome of a bad cop. But then there's number three. You know the one I'm talking about. It's the guy who's not really there to be a cop. They're there for that paycheck. They're there for that pension plan. They're there because they know they can only do it for 20 years and then they're pretty much done. The problem is that there's no real fixing it. By the time you get rid of the bad cops and you replace them, now they're not trained to actually do their job because the people that would have trained them, they just got rid of. But if you had them train them, they would be trained to be bad cops. Now, do I believe that funding or defunding the police is an answer? I really don't have an answer for that. It's a lose-lose situation regardless. The only thing I could really say about this is that people like this need to be thrown out. Hands down, no questions asked. I just hope that the image of being a DoorDash driver or the image of being a black man is not going to cloud the judgment of the jury who is living in Tennessee. It's amazing how people can justify mistreatment because they're a DoorDash guy. I just really hope that doesn't affect the actual case. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.